Am I back? We're back. uh, yeah, it's not working. Nothing is working. It is basically being a pain in the proverbials. Well, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is not being a very happy camper at all. Um, hmm. Okay, it doesn't want to do the police or doesn't want to do Dragonfall. It's like it's probably missing a hook. I'll have to work that out. Such a rude thing to happen. Okay, so let's think of something else that we can do that is tactical or something that I actually haven't played very much of before. Let's see if we can get this one up and running. Fingers crossed. Well, I swapped to OBS because the other one was giving me the craps. Intravenous. No, I have not played Intravenous. Hang on, let me see if I can grab this. Hey, there we go. Tactical immersion shooter. Oh, ImSim. Oh, okay. Intravenous. Okay. All right, we're playing Road Warden. I have played very little of Road Warden, so I'm going to start again. Let me just, I got to edit my stream bits now. Let's try Road Warden. All right. All right. I would love to welcome back those people that were were jettisoned before. I do apologize deeply. I got to work out how to get that to work. Road Warden. All right. Okay. So Road Warden is a sort of a, I should say it's a walking adventure, but it's a different style of thing. You basically set out to look after an outpost. Okay, it's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I shall leave. So I'm going to go standard. And we'll give it a little shot. Okay, here we go. The wall is standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place we're looking for. We're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sound, no labor. Ooh, okay. Alright, I shall look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short dry grass barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods. It gets denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this travel shall be. I dismount and sneak to the gate, take a peek inside. If you're hurt or exhausted, some action won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Of course! Your heavyweights hit the ground, you stretch out, bringing it back on the table. Decent chair, a nice mug of beer and some warm stew. I approach the gate slowly. It's a military camp, it doesn't look the part, plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at a table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice a quiet humming. You recognize the melody. A light-hearted drinking song from the city hub. It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hands. There are bags under his eyes. The beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he does not reach for it. I shall take a look at the second chair. Just like you, she's wearing gambeson. Hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, and she's protecting herself from... as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here a year and a half ago, these two surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. It's nice to see an unarmed traveller in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me a tiny bit hopeful. Be staying the night with us, I guess? You're soldiers. We're soldiers, he and I. That's the Armagoran. Her voice switches to a half asleep to relax. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but you are to take the first watch. It would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you? To fully rest. Sure. Leave it to me. Okay. You wonder how to phrase your question. Okay, whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they are. So wait a minute, we want playful? No. Distant, hide your emotions, intimidating, vulnerable. I was hoping could we talk about them? Well, that's out of sight. Dust off and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I, though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? Or are you just looking for help? I'm your new road warden. My horse is waiting outside. The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We've no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. I'm Tulia, by the way. I shake it. What are we going to call ourselves? Oh, what shall we call ourselves? What shall we call ourselves? I just realized. Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter. Okay. Right. What should we call ourselves? What's a good, stupid name? I am Lothar. I shall be Lothar. Oh, hang on. Let's try typing in the window. That might help. I am Lothar. Just keep your horse away from the tents. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. No tent. You have to use a blanket or something. Okay. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky. As heavy as it is strong, you can get to the saddle with a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to begin from every side. It's a wall of flesh. Horses are brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you would too be lost. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you for another snort. Sorry, not scolding you. Scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of his neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it into the camp. You end up next to the fire pit, removing the saddle, making the horse nicker with relief. Take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had been better to eat on this shabby grass. You look for an inn. Alright, so what are we going to do? Are we going to be a fighter, a mage, or a scholar? You haven't bought many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left. But maybe the soldiers could share you one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a very few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. So, fighter, mage, scholar. What are we thinking about here, guys? I know hexadecimal's already given up. Nah, that's not true. Oh, no, actually, I have 7 subscribers now because yesterday a wonderful, wonderful person gifted out 6. Was it 6 or 5? 5 subs. Now, I don't know who he gave them to, but they have been gifted. Or do I need to gift them? I always forget. Next GM, eh? Next GM gave me 5 star. I gifted. The kind boy. Alright. Sorry, I'm going to go with a scholar. The unpacked inspector belongs. Your water scan isn't. Sorry. Okay, that's not important. Okay. Open your inventory to see my possessions. 2 out of 4. Stops later attacks, but not for long. Taking hits will damage your armor. There you go. I have. It's 15 minutes before dusk, and I feel well. From time to time. Okay, so you unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still there, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl, like your cape, tinderbox bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special, or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal. I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tulia what's going on. I join them. It's cold gruel. Meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humbled one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions constantly, on the move, from one part of the realm to the other, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Road wardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce. Settle down, forge friendships, but also maintain commerce. That seems like a rather. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. Full stop. That's not a very good sentence. Quick, bug report. Bug report. There are no laws to follow. They use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Okay, I will eat quickly and focus not on the tail. Lena chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like, and less than I should. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there was 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land. that's her companion. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from the warden, his untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I will consider. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you refuse, since this area is too far away from Hovlavan to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I'll joke. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses or find what they're looking for? The lieutenant drinks from a cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll never find a comfortable position. Where should we start? It's a bit late for a rescue mission. We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up, at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on a wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at the dawn. Unlike us, Asturian never gets bored. Two of the lets out a joyless stock. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Sorin. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. I'm just going to turn the music down a bit, so people can actually hear me. Okay, here we go. Return. Richer road wardens often use four-legged, meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have been tamed and trained since their hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Did you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither of us had any insight into his dealings. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asturian stuff. Wait! She raised her phone. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlavan. I was planning to take his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of a sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We were meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man. We'll get back to Holovan together. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Holovan in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all his possessions. True. But he's considered dead. I doubt he'll regard you anything. And who knows? You may find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly. Maybe 5 foot tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face. Rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So, find out what happened to him, dead, alive, left. Just let me know. I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, said the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey? I guess it would be about 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and the boats can't get any closer. She nods. I don't know how much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. She pauses, or as she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp. But when we travel to the roadside inn, Pelt of the Dorf, they're happy to trade and play dice. Why not just stay in the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well, she lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Lothar, but are you a devout soul? Like most cities in the church. For many years they supported the monastery, but does it best. So what do we think? No one's here to help me make decisions. Oh no. And hexadecimal has disappeared. Sorry, Hex. My community is unique and independent. So are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. What's my fellowship? What is this shit? Strong connection with nature and spirit that follow the path of my ancestors. Someone please probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence. Oh, Apox is here. Look at that. The boy is here. How you doing, buddy? I tried to stream 2 other friggin' things this evening, and I couldn't get the friggin' stream hooks to work. I tried to stream, was it Shadowrun, and I tried to stream This Is a Police 2. Nothing. So we've gone to Road Warden, which is, there's a lot of reading involved, and like that could bore people, maybe, I don't know. I'll just keep my sweet dulcet tones. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Anyway. So what are we going to do? We're going to say it's all mystical tales, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. I'm going to say, nope, I'm not. Doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think. That's the lieutenant peeping at her again. I just wanted to make sure I won't step on any touchy. Go ahead. People here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger. Long work day, eh? Ah, the joys of long work days, baby. I hear you, brother. Actually, no, I didn't work today. I'm on holidays. No, sorry. Okay. Where was he? She starts to draw lines with her index finger. She's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with the roads, like a big circle in the north. Yeah, I suck. Yeah, baby. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think, even if it has a priest who claims to be an Annamite. You nod, she means a fellowship. They do crazy shit. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in the soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. Oh, okay. Okay, you've heard tales of since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a citizen, its customs and tradition go and grow more. Everything. Okay. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, the necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom. the traitors to humankind. Are you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if you can avoid it. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a road warden. The road is dangerous, with little or no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Yes. Tulia nods. The pelt to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards and ask him about the road. All right. And how about the east? Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forest, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches. But we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Okay, any mentions? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man started to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats, large and small. Runners, howlers, wolves, spike boars, morphlin eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though the palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast of the mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. Excellent. All right, so what are we going to go with next? You're in luck. Take it. Okay, we got to. Oh, excellent. Looking down at the collapsed sands amid your eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats, looking for worms and for putridity. We forage, but not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten a foggy day. For now, you leave the room. Okay, what happened to your squad? Strong band. So bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companions chipped in. When we got to Peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and looked for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arm. But she carries on. If he decided otherwise, we would have all died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap. The armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. Kind of worked at the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage amongst them. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters. Nothing would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend the summer in this place without a good leader. They didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt. So a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough. Didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. We had to cut it off. He was so ashamed that he decided to walk north to find a new life. Disappeared. Idiot. What a colourful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. Barely. Okay, how did you become? Not much of a story. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over. In the city, there's a strict order of, what shall I call, leadership succession. Succession, not secession, but succession. I guess Hovlevan chief selects commanders. Those selected lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced with the next one. Not exactly. We fought the bandits. Our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. plan to become a leader? Making the road safe. Can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby, a place where you can find a group of soldiers, find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. Now, if you have any other questions. The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass and a pond nearby. When besieged, the camp stood abandoned. From time to time, serving as a shelter for travelers, the bandits came here in the spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since those highwaymen know no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. To the inn, of course. The northwest from here. If you can't afford a room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more troubled. But hunters will tell you about this and that. You'll have a chance to introduce yourself. Okay. Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay. You go to the barrel, splash water infection, and makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. I prepare for my watch. Just observe the area. There are plenty of griffins around, though they don't try to jump over the palisade. Probably better watch out for the apes. They climb and carry out any food they can. And there's one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, although it has never tried to get in. A were-elk. How frigging frightening would that be? Like a werebear is pretty bad, but a were-elk? He points to the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes looking here for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if there is someone who is being chased by wolves, better throw them a rope instead. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to pull a blanket or something. Watchtower? Oh, here. Just climb up to the tallest one. You have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest. Just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. Alright, we sit for the night. Most of the time you spot smaller critters and birds. What is it? The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time your back aches. A weird sound coming from the one. From time to time your back aches. And you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. Most of the time you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are more. So at one point you see the three-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash, there enters a two-legged draggling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight. Don't let it distract. Keep looking around. You hear the death screams of a distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a grey hare. Okay, all right. Gather my screen. I use my bags as a pillow, but I cover myself like that. There we go. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your warding duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learning about the territory, the resources and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Hovlevan, officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers? Or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? 40 days. Once you finish, you should speak with. Okay. So, What is my own goal to pursue? I need to gather coin. I need to gather so I can retire early. I need to connections amongst the local leagues to become a major player. Do I remember the soul who brought peace and order to this realm? A hero! I have a difficult past and I want it to be forgotten. Oh, Jesus. These are such connections for traders. Remembered as the soul that brought peace to this realm. Locals and newcomers. What do I just want to move on with my life? Okay. You wake up by sunlight, well rested and ready without haste, you gather your things. After a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. Not burning meat, burning rotten meat. Disgust crawls you. You're outside with both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. A man in the shirt looks at you. Contemplating tears the first one. Lothar. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's possible to tell amongst our male, but if it was an adult, the burning process would be over for a couple of hours. The latter, a young one. She lacked you need to understand that she couldn't get inside the cabinet. I stabbed her to seal from a safe distance. One more fog and she'll be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice but a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road warriors making a large fire takes enough time to save lives. She calls it a she. Most she knights hesitate to do so. Find us here if you need us, or if you don't. Yeah, thought I heard something. These words make you stop. Okay, what? There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. An old farewell mocked in a number of songs of her yet. You hear no scorn in her voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the bar. I prepare myself for the journey. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled up and warmed up. You double check, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent, normally preparing any pole for a take. For a long journey takes a lot of time. You put it on your gambeson and make sure your axe is the trouble. Tightly attach your belt, then you get on the saddle, puffing knickers, ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. I need to ride north. Travel. Okay. Alright, here we go down here. So we are Schmier. Even at a late hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of the birds is quickly replaced with distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find a pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the feathers of birds and fared beasts. Each one is this different size, coat and collars, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. There are 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and clashing each other around, blocking your path. 24. It's a lot of griffins. So I can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, they think it would be disastrous for your horse. The reasons why travelers stay close to the main road Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up for a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tula. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. On occasions, you can use the scholar's education to unlock unique interactions. Mix black powder with Gladon that grows nearby and the dried sunks on my bad. Once I ignite and throw it at the griffins, they'll scatter. Cool. Most city folk feel aversion towards black powder and you touch it with great care. The odor of the plant makes you feel dizzy, but there are more important, so they're going to more functions. Okay. A few of the beasts turn their head towards you as you approach the pack with a bag in your head. You ignite your missile and throw it forward. At first, the creatures surround the source of smoke, then growl and discuss, even putting their beaks to the ground. They flee, allowing you to continue. I really need to find a proper alchemy set. Cool. We passed that bit. All right. The road splits according to what the soldiers are telling you. You may find the safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and tall and overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? A signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint. It points blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. There's not a spark, a soul to ask for guidance. I shall look at my horse. What's my horse's name? What shall we call my horse? Who is it? Give me a horse name. Somebody. Anybody. Oh. Give me a horse name while I prepare myself something to drink. Anybody? Bueller. 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 Anybody? Bueller? No. Okay, fine. See if I can. Trying to make this slightly interactive, and nobody's weighing in. What's going on? I tried. Hey, you're so disappointing. Everybody is so disappointing. Right, Pox? You're very disappointing. All right. What should we call that horse? I shall call my horse. No, I can't call it Nicker. Splodge. There we go. Splodge. Splodge is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Time to make a turn. Let us travel. Well, we go to the left. Splodge trots with ease. Unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road, the birds' songs, the distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boar, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your plow free into the can of the beast don't even begin pursuit. Their speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. Alright, this must be the inn that was spoken of. The inn looks like one fit the region's traveled by merchants, but you could expect the place the size of a forsaken. Okay. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, scouted by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. Expenses and labour put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts. So you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently: yellow, green, and linen grey. All right, a woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointed out. I ain't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass. Her voice is young and strong with the accent that reminds you of the villagers spread among the Hovleven. No, but no jackasses would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from the back to your hips and then thighs in return. The guard tells you about that time when they had to carry their friend with bitten off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guard opened the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman announced, but you don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculptured on his face. He leads you under a roof under which your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post. Here's some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside and speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry. The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as if they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes and weeding the garden patches, moving chairs. 2 of them are marking a rope. You head towards the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a bull from the other side of the yard. I open the door. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire on the stove hardly lightens the hall. A muscular man is with you. He leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. A keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper, berries, cat's foot. He fills the mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon. Today, maybe. We don't drink here before 11. I hate to see the good stuff. Oh, sorry, the even. His skin is dark, almost purple. Rare even amongst the southern tribes. His hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. Planks let out a creak after every step. Swelling and keep it made a little to no noise. Here you go. But just so as you know, Pelt of the North doesn't belong to Hovleven. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I need to check. Thanks for the drink. He meets your eyes with a puzzled look and grabs a wet cloth and starts to wipe down the shells. From time to time, your conversation is interrupted by splashes of dirty water in a wooden bucket. Well, nothing is truly free. I have work for a soul of the road, but I don't need a new mouth to babble. He speaks slowly yet audibly. I value my time. You should value yours. Dark room wooden moor make the liquid look brown as chestnut. The lee in the spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. You now know why there's so much left. Maybe it's an acquired taste. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought that I have, which is there are brigands in the wood. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt their reason why merchants come here only once having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the darkest settlement. Sorry, it's the darkest. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Theus, the mayor, about Glossia, that bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glossia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragonbone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have the chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back for the news. Nod. He knows bad thing. Innkeeper knew what he was talking about. He put on the gloves and looked at the bush at a safe distance. Doesn't take long before you notice the first settlement lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures aren't large, but even some of the hisses the jabs of the hook can keep them at distance. You don't know much about these berries. They are round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a colour even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so they make sure to thoroughly cover your skin. Your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill a bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. One of the bushes at the back has more berries than the other. They're purple. As you squeeze one of them, they recognize these are mushrooms. In small amounts, they added to pie sauce. Still, eating a couple of them will make one sick, if not poisoned. You're surprised to see them in a meadow. You could use them at the alchemy table if you can't find it. If you can find it for now, I count the berries and return. You return to the courtyard. 2 of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. They're wrestling as a company of background. And how did that old hook of mine work? What do you have for sale? Oh gosh. I got an elk fur I don't need to buy. I was caught in a pack of ruin. Nice for sleeping spot. Sits it on the wall. Just as nice as the wall. Also a touch ball. So priceless for a traveller. Billy's being sarcastic. Maybe for fun, I guess. If they mention useful these arrangements looks down, I don't think I have blades around my spare, but if you pay well, I can take it out across my bunch of quality. Okay, let me have a look at what you have. So I don't have any money whatsoever. What do I have? What are these? I got 5 coins then. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Alright. Um, I will buy. I buy some food rations, and I will buy the soap, and that will do me. Thank you very much. This built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the one they left, not enough travelers due to bad trade villages. When he asked him how they could afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. What's doing all the trading? My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest in exchange for furs, claws, and bones. We get what we need and more, both from the south and the north. We have a good life here. We spent the whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears, but in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Hovleban and not work for another day in our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. I ain't seen a soul looking at since my mind. It's not fascinating tale. Let's just say I wasn't part of the invasion. I'm glad to be freed of all that. So chained by the cities and their courtiers. Lacey, by the way, but I rarely hear that name. There's a story, but not a good one. For years I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in the city that would be in bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word are cheap and nasty. And there was the Claw, and the Mugger, and the Basilisk, and the Blissful, I think. The good places used at least two words: empty barrel, a rose and helmet, Empress's smile, pig's head. It was a real dive in my soul. Don't think I'm going to be much help, but I do want to find him. Styrian and I made a risky deal, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, half for the investment. He knocks the table with a fish. If I get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the girl, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed enough to bring me news. I just think this ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing for him. It wasn't such a fortune like to risk it down and trust. Not only mine, but at least for a roadworthy to make connection, he always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with the thumb as he's trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed at the White Marshes for a day, and that was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs. Then enter them. You may get there before dusk, so let me know once you find anything. We may yet return this whole investment thing. Good. What could one say? This place doesn't even have a name. Unless there's an old book and an archive. The hunting ground. But it's not just us who hunt and keep them in heart, but the beasts in all shapes and forms. His word gains confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here, you see how harsh it is to hit the road. You have only more reason to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot today. Well, I'm sure you've heard a lot already. That people won't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here, you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend the night there. The monkeys stole food and gourds from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but, the eastern forests are wild. The roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day, all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on the track until you reach the crossroads, right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll discover the place. It's a nice warm home in a lonely meadow surrounded by a wall. He looked towards the closed window. That are you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit. Eudocia, Eudokia, whichever way you want to say it. I don't even know how she survives there, but you don't have a decent coin, you won't find much there. So back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects to the tower and the monastery, a shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Goblins live there. Okay. I could keep doing this, but I'm sure people are getting tired of my voice. What have we got here? Goblins live there now, so mostly people just travel around. If I would like to speak. Hey, Kyborg. He crosses his arms and starts to look way back to the. You'll get there at last train in the swamp. Old Pogos, the soil there ain't too volatile, so they work the quarry to help each other. White marshes. But it smells like a griffin's land. So 3 villages, really. Howlers, one near the monastery, and marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades feed their weird people live there, and don't tell them more than you need to. Okay. You know about another inn that's far from here. That's all I needed, man. Okay. Sure. Okay. Points to the lace in the front of your jacket, raises a clenched fist and then gently spreads it along. Makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth. What? Oh! Yes, let's do that. I am wasting all my money. Alright. I wash my shell. Okay, step away. It's the brown hairy ball which is resting inside this. More voice, bright smile, the camouflage doesn't tell the umbrella like many of it. More runs up to us. I don't really have time. Oops, it is. myself. Okay. Alright. I'll walk away. I'm going to travel. So if I keep going this way, road up and around, also a tight road, a few caves. Keep an eye out for any signs of leaf. Stand in front, indicate you hear no voices, no tools. No, it doesn't following signal. If you want to travel any further, you need to run around the path. Searches are going to take a lot of time. Broken gate enough will lead you into the village. The sound of general river reaches. Okay. What is it? 10 hours before dusk. Broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls the smell is awful. There's no reason to stay long. You've seen no furniture. Take a closer look at the gate. The palisade is in good shape. The entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you expect that it was pushed to get the village, not over. There's the pasture here. Let's expect. You don't find a single sign that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, the pasture ends of the river. Okay, let's return to the main road. What is this? Return to the main road. Fields in the southwest. Step up there around the palisade. I don't have a way to investigate. Okay. Alright. Tracks of human footwear and many more 8 footprints cover the path formed around the palisade. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. Covered in mushrooms and small flowers, insects, worms. Good source of animal and goblin food. They expect them also to hunt for birds' eggs in the meadow in the west. Going south, you reach a large field though you don't see any crops. I shouldn't enter the forest. I feel a slight aching in my stomach. Am I hungies? Check out the main square. In every village, the main square is the fanciest part. Meant to be charming. Houses as big as overlapping pavement. The walls are now charred and riddled with holes. Made of an expensive coated wattle. Tiles for the roofs have also been brought here from different settlements. You peek inside the 3 smaller buildings, the rotting remains of their fallen splendor. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't even find a single dragon bird, nor a tool or a piece of furniture left unbroken or rotten. Or unrotten. Interesting. Yeah. The well stinks. It has no bucket, and you'd be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds are relieved themselves, and how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly you hear some sounds coming from the load spot. Your stomach makes you what? Your stomach makes you let out a painful groan. You step cautiously towards the scent of urine and sweat. Flickering lantern shows a broken furniture. Wicked dark. We can. But how is it that you chose this place to visit from all that there are? It may be you're telling the truth, so let's say this. My little ballista here is all pulled and ready. But you won't do anything stupid, right? No running, no jumping around. Show us your hands. The man's voice lacks confidence, and his accent is tricky for you. He could be from the distant south, but also you don't speak too quickly, you understand one another. You don't hear any other movements. I walk inside. The dense smell of urine hits you at the full force, while the tools and utensils are in rubbish. Glass roof, the scavenger is sitting on a blanket in front of a tent, pointing at the floor with his loaded crossbow. Not a short man, though, a bit skinny. His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot and dirty linen shirt rolled up sleeves. You wipe the dust off the steps before you sit down. You hear the man's noise. Don't get too homely. It's not the only place here that's not just ashes and debris. And I'm not sharing it. It is the only. You better ride ahead. They already piled up whatever hasn't rotten. Candles light up dancing on his burnt face. I saw your house. Maybe you could help me. What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from the north. Nah, I never met him. But I'll surely heard his name come. Metal to many, But I'll surely heard his name many times. He vanished long before I got to the coast. At first people were asking about him. Now they think he's dead. Listen, I'm hungry, so damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all these ape men around. Can you share anything, Roadster? I may be a drifter, but wouldn't be a beggar if I didn't have lost my bags on the road. Ha! You say, but you know my dearth. He bites in the sausage. Without ya, I would outrun after birds with my ballista. I don't need to save the boats for the ape man. Because of those stinkers, I can't roast here. The raw meat makes me want to puke. Thank you. Now, Roadster, I have a question to ask. I'll say a lot. Oh, if you have questions to ask, I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. How do you keep it? I got a trick or two to keep him safe. A little something that scares away, even without magic. But I tell you what, help me get out of here, and I'm going to share some of them with you. Okay. I've seen none. People say it's been less than 10 years since the nerd scared came here. But you know what I say? Okay, I better not dig. Right. Waiting to break through like a dragon egg. Okay, tell me about yourself. He gives us something. What far? I've no legacy to keep alive in tales. Time waster. The damn borders devoured all the loot. Collapsing. Any idea what happened? Well, I might guess. But I saw many ruins. There's no treasure. Skeletons here. And I can imagine. Taken about the nature's fury brings bad luck, you know. Nah, I think they're in the northeast. I stuck to the western road. No shell bother me. Me too. And the guts and the thinker gets easier with time if you're patient. Must be in the air, the smell of death. Alright, let me explain first. I was in Halliston, the closest village to the east coast. People there are nice. Not like old pagos. They're a ball and grimmer than a crew. But they're crying coin for everything. Damn good coin. I left, wanted to look around these ruins, see if there's anything left, and moved to Pelt and hire the hunter to help me here. No luck. Bunch of griffs jumped me packbird. I just bought it. Fast and nimble, but not brave enough to listen to me when they're all just screeching until the scratching started. So I ran away with me bags. A few fell on the ground and I pulled them, but by now I see it's so how it is. I want to travel around with a tent on my back. I won't travel around with a tent on my back. He taps the crossbow with his fingertips. I need maybe a day, just a day, and I'll have all the iron scrap from the barrels so I can move forward. But I'll take all my stuff along. Without me around, the 8 men are going to break it in and steal all my shit. Here you go. What do you exactly want to do? I need you to make sure there's no danger hiding on the road from here to Howlers, or rather, I know there is some danger. As long as you can get there and safely return, I'm sure I can handle some roaming monsters. Okay. Why Howlers there? If you want to go south, you should travel to the Pelt. If you want to go south. I mean, I see your point. I'll never be there. I can't afford my iron. That means to pay for it. I need coins to find a handy bunch that will walk south with me, and I need a new staff and bolts. I know the village is a nice place, even has a smithy of sorts. I have a chance to look that. It's a large and safe one. Well, that's a shorter path, however. Fewer spots to get surrounded by corpses, if you're sure. I have ways to pay you. Don't worry. I can give you dragons. I'll have to sell the iron first, so I'll need a bit. 5 or so. 5 for a short escort would be plenty, I'd say. Starts to hum. You know. At all house, you meet the man out of there for sure. Faces. Face! Okay. Come tomorrow. Okay. Time for me to leave. The northwest. What's my time frames here? Okay. So dense and unsafe. Right. Most of the tree trunks look smaller. Okay. I shall leave the clearing. Take it close. Push to pull. It doesn't move an inch. Alright. We're going to travel. Dimension of the wetlands. Many of the streams. The danger of the teeth deposits hidden below the water surface. I stay away from the banks. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees in the wetlands. You get your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants. It smells like an old corpse. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water surface. You don't see any saurians in the grass or on the shore you approach. Splodge is peaceful. People observe the dark grass, slapping flies with his tail. Whatever is it? Okay. Please don't. Cautiously, without knowing how deep it gets, you have to consider this sorrow. Once you get close, you start breathing again. While in the water is dirty, it is also shallow. You see vegetation before we get to the side for that. You don't see anything that would catch your attention. I don't really want to go for the roots. It's clumped with dirt, not even nicks, fused by years of wind. What time is it? Okay. Tree roots cling to the altar for many spots. They're firmly attached. You struggle to remove them. What? Use your keyboard to name objects that you're interested in. Oh, okay. What is your sacrifice? What is my inventory? What have I got? Small potion of healing. I got 2 food rations. Pouch with coins. I got my horse. I got a gambeson. I got a rope. Nice. Travel set. I don't really have a lot. It's brown covered with a hair that represents. You kneel in front of one that's laying. I obviously. Oh, quiet. Okay. Smell. Let's just get back to the map. I don't know. Can't do anything else. What do I try to do? Kick? Pull. Okay. I stand up. Make an offering. You place any type of food you can find in your sack or on the nearby, but none of them seem to make any difference. Shit. Journal. Groups of places. Better. No. Hours down. Let's look at. Will be sitting on the western red line. The following two group of George, Old Pagos, White Marshes. Okay. You slow down. Among the shrubs, a small pack of dragonlings is feasting on the carcass of a grey or straight up and gives you a glorious guide. Its head tilts to the left, right, and forth. It doesn't move forward, returns to its middle. You wonder what would happen if you were on foot. Would they let you be satisfied? Oh, would they let you be satisfied with their prey? Or would they run after you? But if so, for what reason? It's kind of cool. It is not. Doesn't feel like it's 21 degrees. Oh no. So one of the Avo people did. Sorry. It serves your paltry world. The forest to your left becomes sparse. On your right, there's a large pasture, at least a dozen massive morphlons or moflins 2 of them already shared. Look comically small. Soon after that, your own. Okay, the path ends with a massive wooden gate, stone wall separating you from the glow of the lights behind it. Isn't as tall as the roost, but you can imagine climbing its top. There are pretty much no cracks, no missing bricks, a sign of many hours of labour, especially considering how massive the satellite is. That's why does this interest the bird and the monkeys are now just a distant echo. Replace that. Finally, maybe a grand sign. The young man is leaning against the closed gate covered by a shadow. He's young, tanned, and has a short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gambeson, he wears an expensive tunic decorated with colourful trim. From his arms hangs a steel helmet. Through the metal is so thin it's almost made of wool and leather. He moves to the light and takes on a posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. He's standing upright with his chin up. There are 2 weapons on the ground, leaning on the wooden beam of the gate. The axe made of steel and a wooden club. He doesn't reach right now. He dismounts smoothly, still having some vigor left. A splodge holds its tail high. A narrow path leads north toward 2 field workers, one with a hoe, the other with a pitchfork. They wave at you. You can't see their faces, but their clothes are simple. They talk for a bit, looking forward, and pointing to the mountain and walk away, disappear behind the walls. The guard smiles at you and watch your eye. It's clear that he's through. Welcome, traveller. If you're here to make trouble, Howler's Dell welcomes you. If you're near here, you're the whitest flower there is. When he bows, you realize he's well practiced. It's new garments you're looking for. You can order everything you need right here on all the colours, shapes, and sizes, capes, boots. Okay, he's act over. He glances at your mount for a moment in silence. His eyes get wide and reserve at all. This is Splodge. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks the gate, which is then pulled inwards by 2 other guards, living in simple houses. Okay, just give me a moment. The guard strides away before he finishes the last word. The others close the gate behind you and observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east to a humming creek running through the center of the village. I shall await the return of the messenger. All right. Now, those are quests. Okay, so finding the rain lamp, escort the scavenger. This is one. Pay me 2. Okay. Okay. According to Peltz, it's a broken. No abandoned. Okay. Some humans chopped through the fence that surround the large bastard me. Maybe to save a herd, maybe to steal it. Swamp bolter. Alright. Go to town. She can come now. She near come now. A friend of mine is in labour, eh? Mayor wants to be there when the child arrives. But I was asked to show you the village. She near come now. Once you're done, he grabs a rope ladder. The view from up here is gorgeous. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guy gets stuck early like a monkey climbing up creepers. Let's have a look. See? There's no place like Harlesden. Guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. But for the next few minutes, he describes the fields and their crops. There you go, look at that. There it is. There's the view, baby. Ancient garden, trees, bushes, large in the village itself. The sunlight dances in the stream on its own. If you are to believe everything he describes, this place has access to everything in abundance. The sweetest honey, the most fragrant bread, the softest wool. And in the beer is excellent. He sounds like a city merchant he's trying to sell. What an annoying kid. Why not? The outlet in the middle connects both parts of the village. Oh, gosh. I yawned and my eyes started watering. Yeah. Hey, hello, Maya. Near the end of the go, stalls. Watch your work unless you annoy him with pointless talk. Okay. Bed and victuals. And there's a stall where Akros rewards our work. The opposite side of the creek, there's another white house. It belongs to Bjorn, the best clothier in the north. The priests live in the southeast, near the wall. They don't attack to strangers. You also hear about the hunter, the cooper, the fisher, the miller. The pie maker lives with his sister, the baker. The smith and her husband, the carpenter, live with their children. Some of the larger buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations at once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. You consider stopping his speech, but suddenly he points to the island. There, see, the mayor's coming. The one wearing purple. You're free to join her, traveller. Okay. Try to get down quickly, but 2 steps are enough to make you sure. Okay. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasturage surrounding the wooden fence with a few chickens, tethered boar. Fancy building the bridge is wide enough to carry even a wagon, but for splodge, walking on the wooden beams is far more pleasant. It's empty, but you know it's an empty stall. Sorry. Painted with a shaved up. Okay. Along the entire path, you notice more and more people observing you, smiling, or casually greeting you as they are focused on their own task. Finally, you reach the main square. A large tree grows in the center, surrounded by dark water. Held together with a thin wall, perfect for sitting. The smell coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The plant reminds you of the tree you saw in the south next to the swamp altar. In the north, you see the Apple Ale Inn. Judging by the table, stools, and benches outside, it's open for guests. The villagers are chatting and dining loudly, and you catch their curious glances. On the side of the dining area, the merchant is arguing with a tall, broad-shouldered worker. An old man is sitting by himself, eating a pie, with a walking stick leaning against the table. A young woman is cleaning the empty mugs in the creek, speaking with a man at least twice her age, maybe her father. There's a whole wooden roof next to the gate. Oh, lovely, that shelters carts, crates, and sacks. You move your mount next to a donkey. Donkey! Right? Yeah, donkey. Donkey. Look at the camera. Idiot. Without a moment, his blood starts to chew on a nearby haystack. You have some time to make sure it doesn't struggle with your bundles. You return to the inn. Alright, she's sitting on a chair with a 4-year-old boy on a knee. On her knees, I should say. She's holding his hand gently, showing him how to eat gruel from a bowl. It's not a cheap meal, though you spot nuts and berries and milk, and the added honey makes it yellowish. The kid is clean and quiet, and once he notices Rob, he crams his mouth with a spoonful of oats. Now, my love, the mare titters, don't get distracted. She rubs the meal off his face. A few more spoons, and you'll go help Papa in the kitchen, eh? She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile, then turns her attention back to her companion. Her long, full-sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in blue, and then once in red to achieve its dark, fancy purple, which would draw looks even in Hovleven. There you go. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape as thin as a shawl. The brown belt on her waist has a large steel buckle which portrays a running deer with unrealistically large antlers growing in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribesfolk, she's pale, with powdered rose cheeks, and her lips matched her outfit, though they're a bit closer to wine red. The thick grey strands of her long blonde hair look more like a fashion choice than the results of aging. Her eyes are the colour of her cape, keen and vigorous. She's taller than most people, though would still be the tallest woman in the most northern settlements. While she's around 40, her slim hands add fragility to her appearance, even though her posture is upright, her legs comfortably crossed, and her delicate voice assertive. She makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly ever move. I will wake. After a few minutes, the boy lets out a gentle cough. After a pat in the back, the mayor puts him on the ground. You did a great job, my love. Now go. I need to speak with our guest, darling. Take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of a question or a suggestion. Yes, Mar, she responds. Both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother, and neither of the kids resemble their mother. So we have a road warden again. Please sit down. She vaguely shows the palm of her open hand. Let me pick any place. Following water slightly hits the rocks of the wooden stand. However, the river is surrounding the walls. The mayor absorbs your outfit. Observes. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. Don't mention it. Hunger makes me peevish, and the day is too nice for that. She taps her chest and looks at the flock of birds that fly above you loudly. As we're waiting, be so good as to help me understand something. Ava, if you're but a mercenary, I cannot imagine a single reason for you to choose the throne for your warden. Near so long after Asterian's disappearance, I should say, there's neither glory or treasures to find here. Her pale fingers form a tent on her stomach, then clasp, leaving the forefinger. You were sent here by the merchants. They want the peninsula. You introduce yourself and touch on the more obvious sides of the potential deal. With the guild and the city chief, the troops, their pay, trade routes would bring new life. It's a win-win. She observes you patiently with her direction. I see, she responds. As she observes your palfrey, she twists her deer buckle left and right, left and right. If it were that simple, I'd be eager to applaud, but it never is that simple. Her eyes fill with melancholy despite a smile. I appreciate that you're coming with a carrot, not a stick. But when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Her accent is now almost identical to the one used in the city. They really sound that confident? She titters and waves a hand by her chin as if there's laughter compliment. I've seen such negotiations during my studies, though I can't say I took an active part in them. Let me show you an example. She theoretically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand while covering her mouth with the other, then leans forward and rests on her while allowing her hands to freely make gestures. You make a deal with a settlement, flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders and they imply that you're ready to pay more for, let's say, parchment. Months later, you want no more rye, just the parchment and wool. You cannot butcher any more milfins, the locals say. Don't worry your answer. We'll send you a small flock, just one of your fields into our pasturage. As she pretends to speak a different characters, her voice comically shifts, and she has no issue switching between accents. She swings her hand above the line. Another year goes by, and while there's no more parchment, the village lacks some crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but it also needs seeds. And the guild is not satisfied sending out wagons. Sending out wagons cost a lot. Cost a lot, and there are more highwaymen now. If you want us to come again, you need more mouflons and sell us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she straightens up and spreads her arms out. Turns out that the village can't say no anymore. They lack supplies, seeds, and land. They can't refuse. pause doesn't linger for long. I see we understand each other. Let's finish the introductions. I am Theus, one of the keepers of the Apple Inn and the mayor of Howler's Den. I assume it would be convenient for you to take my answer back to Hovelan. She wonders a minute. Say, when could we expect the first caravan after winter? Depends on what you can sell and what you want in return. While the conversation goes on, the food gets served. The refreshing aroma of roasted mutton covered with thick sauce made of mint, parsley, and honey tempts you to bite it right. The juices are sinking. Oh, a plate made of simple brown bread. There's also a small bowl filled with chopped red radish and sliced boiled egg, and a mug filled with cold buttermilk. It's all brought by a few young people, all of them referring to the mayor as their mother, and in the end, the innkeeper himself shows up to wish you a good meal. He's wearing a clean orange tunic and a not-so-clean apron made of hemp. He politely introduces himself as Eric's. And after confirming you won't get sick from what he prepared, he leaves you to his wife. He leaves you and his wife, to your conversation. There's tears in the meat into smaller pieces, then eat slowly after expressing enjoyment. Sounds like the nearby ground is fertile. The village would gladly pay its taxes in grain and vegetables, with the exception that a squad of soldiers would provide additional protection. Our youth is strong, so we don't need your guards on our walls. But a lone road warden won't keep these roads passable. We need fighters willing to patrol the paths, maybe even the heart of the woods. That's what we'd expect in return. You're no expert when it comes to linen, cheese, wool. So the mayor spends a good couple of minutes describing the outstanding quality and so on and so forth. Unique is to make the master make sure you never earned enough to pay him for such a single slave. And of course, we will never reject some steel and bronze. We like alloys for sickles and sides. Understandable. But you won't find much in the other tribes. Barely enough to survive, even though they trade from our crops. So at least the people of Gale Rock have salt barrels of fish, while Creeks sells meat and wood. Actually, if you haven't been in Creeks yet, the farthest village to the northeast, you should give them a chance. They could use your help with keeping their roads safe. White marshes, on the other hand, as well as old Hagos, are close to worthless. For a trade route, that is. After these words, she stands up, walks to another table, and offers her treasure to an elderly man who sits. Alright. So tell me, Lothar, how's Hovleven? I haven't gathered much news since the invasion. I don't know. I thought they were losing all the ships and getting cut off from so many tribes, which all the priests and traders filled their stomachs. Alrighty. How can I help you, Lothar? Well, I need to find out. Looking for Esteron. It's your palfrey, man. We have 2 jacks. Is your palfrey a mare? We have 2 jacks. Could use some mules. If you have to know, he failed and won't get a second chance. He was meant to escort a Gideon, a daughter of mine, to her betrothed in Garrock. She was a great archeress on the road from here. The coast is not that dangerous. When they saw goblins around us, they wanted to push through right into their trap. They got jumped like a bunch of wealthy pilgrims. A road warden worth their gruel should know better. He can fight with a blade, but my girl, she never had a chance. Disappeared soon after his pickle and closed out the doors behind me. items were after food, so the character shell away. One day she's going to charge our walls, work and attempt. Okay. I'd rather have him prove first. Try asking for him in the north. He spent most of his time there. I wonder, did you spend any time in the backward corner? It used to be dark, dirty alley with muggers working every night and day. Called the bad part of down the city. Comforting. Okay, so what do you think about the scavenger? They won't ask our hunters to engage their lives. Okay. Tell me, how do people dress in this? It's a simple one. I want to know about the show. I don't even want to think about their tragic fate. No one can negotiate with the wraith of the herds. I better not find out you upsetting my neighbors with these sad questions. Okay. You mean beholder? Guardian spirit of our wetlands. Every fall we bring it our gifts. In return, it provides us with blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. Told in the oldest books and the older the druids help us honor its sleep and child. Okay. Citizen years my northern paid off his debt to us, but he's an alder and a prattler, drinks too. Okay. I hope you still improve this. Life is good here. Okay. Okay. We talk and talk, but I still don't know where you're from, Lothar. What's your story? Have you lived in Holland? Could gossip about an okay, right? Oh, there's no secret trouble. That's hard work, risk, and sacrifice. I can consider it right now, but if you want me to give you some answers, let's see. Some gestures of goodwill be regained since you're the guild master that I need to know you can be relied on. Yep. Of course. Alright. do enough for my village and list. Okay. Yes, it looks like we. What can I do? The mayor's shining. Okay. Since this there's a little trade on the roads and not much reaches it. Be so kind and help me learn some interesting tales about it. Do you have something to share? Salt fish. What animals do people breed in the nearby village? Barely any meat. Okay. Thank you for your time. All right. It's 8:43. I'm gonna leave it there. I did a lot of talking, didn't I? This was not terrible. I must admit, it wasn't the most visual experience in the world, but it was nice to sort of go through the story quest. I may not pay. I don't think I'm going to play this on stream further because I don't think it's unless people want me to do. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm going to try to look and find out why I couldn't get Shadowrun working properly. But I will be back tomorrow, and I know for a fact that City Skylines 2 does work. I'll be proven it'll be fuck up and the world will explode. City Skylines 2 tomorrow evening. We'll do some city building. I started working on the American styles, so we'll expand on that and yeah, we'll get my population up. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. Okay, I'm going to sign off though for the evening. So thank you for watching. And those people that got subscriptions, watch, enjoy, have fun. All right, Council's going to sign off. Good night for now. See you, Apox. See you, Hex, if you're still watching.